Hello everyone, this is Pat with Angel Divination with our daily oracle card reading and message, actually our reading and message for the weekend of February 18th and 19th of 2012. And as usual for the weekend reading, I'm going to be calling and tuning into the fairies, the magical messages from the fairies oracle card deck, and the Earth Magic oracle card deck. Because I like to get, the Earth Magic kind of reminds me of tuning into Mother Earth and seeing what's going on. And the fairies are such lighthearted and playful beings that it's the weekend. It's time to lighten up and see what their message is for us and play with them. So for this weekend, the cards that came out from the fairies were Walk Away and Holiday. Okay? The message on the Walk Away card says, leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Okay? And what this card message speaks to is that if you've been, thinking about making a change, but maybe have had fears, worries, or concerns about what other people around you might think about you making that change, they're urging you not to worry about those fears and to ask the fairies for help in making that transition, because it really is time. Your intuition is right on and it's telling you to make a change, and it is truly time to make that desired change now. Whether that might be a work-related change, it could be a change in your relationships. The Walk Away card, suggests that you may have sensed that some of the relationships around you don't have the same attraction for you as they once did. That maybe they don't have the same integrity for you as they once did, and it really is time to, walk away, or kind of bow out graciously is another way of looking at it, and moving on from something, because the environment or the relationship, whatever, may be toxic. And maybe you've realized that for yourself. And on the heels of yesterday's cards, where we got from Raphael, that Raphael was helping us with healthier lifestyles, maybe changing our eating habits and getting more sleep and taking more personal care of ourselves. So with this card today, the fairies are also pointing to the fact that we may need to walk away or let go of habits that are unhealthy for us. And sometimes those habits are associated with people that we've been hanging out with. Maybe there's certain people we hang out with where we drink alcoholic beverages a lot more with them, or we tend to eat a lot more with them because that just tends to be what happens when we hang out with them. Or maybe we gossip a lot more when we're with them. So what this card is suggesting is to bring those healthier changes into your life. You may need to walk away from those situations and say no to them graciously. And the fairies will be able to help you make that transition. So it's bringing our attention to that today. And the other card that came out from the fairies was Holiday. And this is, if you are already in the process of walking away and making that desired change, it's reminding you to take some time off, go do something that has some fun to it. Plan a holiday for yourself. Or if you already have been in the process of planning a holiday, following that nudge, it may be time to, look to the details of doing it. I know that's what it's saying to me today. I've planned a holiday. I have to make my flight arrangements. So it's urging you to do that. And, the fairies can help you to find and afford a fun holiday for yourself if you put that out there to them, and ask them, pardon me, for the help in doing it. The message on the card says the answer you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or holiday getaway. And remember, the fairies are all about having fun. And so they're urging us to say with this message that it is time to plan a holiday. Do something that's fun for you, that feels fun for you. So, and enjoy it, whether it's just a night out, to someplace new and different, or exciting with friends, or, whether you're planning a real holiday getaway to some place you've always wanted to go to. It doesn't matter, but they're urging you that, time invested in play and having fun, like in a holiday getaway where you can get out of Dodge, forget about your normal routines. That is an investment. It's not a luxury. It is truly an important investment of your time. So they're saying walk away from the toxic situations and plan something fun for yourself. Get away from it all. And maybe it's not that you need to leave your job specifically if that's a troubling situation. Maybe you just had a rough week at work where the energies were really, I don't know, kind of intense or something like that. So they're kind of acknowledging it's like, oh, yes, it's time to get away from that and go have some fun. Go have some fun with your friends. So I'm going to move these over. Now, in a similar way, let's see, the Earth Magic cards, we got the same card as last weekend, the Volcano card with Volatility. And I did have one of the viewers write to me, I think it's Chris, who's over there in Rome, and she said Mount Etna went off last weekend. So that volcano going off was a very real event for her. And this definitely does speak to more volcanoes going off. Although as I tuned into the card today, what came to me was that it's underwater volcanoes that are going off. And volcanoes are a key part of Mother Earth's cycle of change that brings about new land masses, and it causes sometimes shifting of land masses. So as in terms of the physical Earth itself, this is a trend that's going to continue, perhaps in more areas. But when I tuned into the card, I definitely got that it was more underwater volcanoes going off, and more specifically I feel like it's in the area of maybe the Mid-Atlantic ridge, in between, in the Atlantic Ocean, that there's a fault line underneath there. And but I also know from having watched other videos and other research information that there's also underwater volcanoes that go off along the west coast of the United States, off the coast of Washington and Oregon and that area. So it suggests an increased amount of activity in some of the underwater volcanoes. At least that's what I get from when I look at it. But as far as in terms of us personally, because we all know we're affected by the Earth, this card, in terms of how it speaks to us personally, it suggests that there are very, what may seem to be like volatile changes going on for us personally, like unexpected changes that are very dramatic that come up for us. Okay, it might be, someone, it may be someone in our life that we lose, and because they go to spirit, they've passed on. That dramatically, affects us. It could be changes in our job or employment, or where they make significant changes. It just speaks to unexpected changes that come up that require you to shift and change, and very rapidly. And it's changes that oftentimes shake our foundations in a way that or force us to look at what we previously considered to be our security, our foundation. It may cause us again to look at the relationships that we're around. Maybe someone's behavior has changed in a way that really is just off balance and out of integrity for us, or seems really toxic. So just like the fairies we're talking about, we need to walk away from it. Or if you encounter someone who's demonstrating very violent or volatile behavior, where they just seem to be going postal, you need to walk away from that, just like what the fairies were saying to us. That's part of their message. If you encounter that with people, walk away, for your own safety, if for no other reason. But just know that it speaks to things that we may either have in our own personal life, or that we may hear about in the world at large, that again, it shakes our foundations a bit, and it really causes us to look at our life, or what we need to do, areas that we need to make change. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Okay, it may seem a little scary at first, but it's life's way of kind of in a literal way, lighting the fire under our behind to make changes and to follow those inner nudges, and to it's just important for us to make these changes. Now, the card that came out right along with this, and we've gotten this one quite a bit before, is the Dragonfly card for Emergence. And right along with the Volatility card, you know, volcanoes, as I said before, in a literal way for the Earth, they speak to the emergence of new land masses. And in a personal way for us, as these, volatile, maybe sudden and dramatic changes come up for us, it's forcing us to emerge into a new cycle of our life. Okay, it's urging us to emerge into that new phase of maturity, a new level, maybe that's maybe a step up for us, kind of like, when we have to step into leadership positions, and I guess the metaphor that I would use for that is, when teenagers go through puberty, they experience very dramatic body changes, and they're also experiencing a change in their maturity level. And it occurs over, a period of maybe several years. But, and sometimes their reactions to those, sometimes they, do it very maturely, and they work with it well. But we also know that the teenage years, they experience a lot of, very emotional, volatile, everything's a crisis for them, and that's how it comes about. But at a worldwide scale, this is what's happening for a lot of us right now, not just young children, but even for us adults. Another metaphor would be as we enter into that phase of our life where we become parents. We're faced with a lot of sudden and dramatic changes. We have to incorporate this new life into our life and adapt our life to change and accommodate this young child, who we are now a teacher for, and we have to step into a role of leadership. So again, on a worldwide scale, this is what's happening and going on right now, because our consciousness as humanity is changing, and our evolution, we are evolving. And so that evolution occurs oftentimes through sudden and dramatic changes that come up that force us to step up into new ways of being in the world. Okay, so it really does speak to that on a personal level, but it also, it's consistent, and it's happening in conjunction with the changes that are occurring upon the Earth. And now for the Earth, this is part of its cycle of changes. It isn't necessarily anything new or different for the Earth itself. The Earth has been going through these kinds of cycles and volcanic changes and eruptions for millions of years. But there's never been maybe this many people. There's never been 1 billion or more people on the planet before. So for us, it may at times seem very dramatic. So those are our messages for today. I know that might seem kind of involved, and I hope it speaks to you. But, embrace these changes. And it's about trusting life, trusting where it's taking you, even though at times it seems a bit scary or difficult. But trust in the changes that are taking place, because they're important ones. All right? And take a holiday. If this feels kind of heavy to you, take a holiday. So I hope you enjoy your weekend, everyone. Take care, and I look forward to speaking with you again on Monday. And thanks to everyone who sent the birthday wishes to me and my daughter. So I appreciate your inbox messages and all your comments, and thanks to all the new subscribers. I look forward to seeing you, or again, speaking with you over the weekend. Take care, everyone.